During my 250 years in this life, I've witnessed good shows, bad shows, and enough bad shows to start losing hope in shows that gets produced in 2024. Except for one show that had me kicking my feet and getting all excited like a Disney princess that's gonna have the opportunity to kiss a frog for the past 8 weeks. Now, the show I'm referring to is DC's The Penguin. Yesterday, the show's finale dropped, and I just finished it. And was it perfectly executed? When I first started the show, I just thought this is gonna be another DC villain arc show, nothing too special. But little did I know that the production and the acting and the soul that went into this show is going to be so good. But of course, I'm going to be getting into spoilers, so if you don't want to be spoiled, uh, I'd advise you to click away. Now that I've addressed the elephant in the room, I want to start off by talking about the character development. Colin Farrell does a really good job at playing the role of the Penguin. He does a really good job at playing the role of Oswald, the King of Gotham. From start to the very near end, you just want to root for this evil character called the Penguin. But you constantly get reminded that you shouldn't be rooting for this absolute menace. This show was such a bittersweet reminder that the villains that Batman has to face, they're nuts. They're crazy people. Knowing this, it's still so easy to get fooled by a character like the Penguin because you really want to sympathize with this character because it's just a boy that wants to look after his mother. Where at the end, Sophia does mention that, which is another crucial character, that he didn't really love his mother, which makes sense because he could have been using her as an excuse to do all of these crimes, just saying that he did it for her, she is the reason he did it. But it was out of his own selfishness that he wanted to get rich and become the king of Gotham. Anyway, Oswald also gets put in many sticky situations, and the ways he gets out of these situations are it's incredible. And it's not just terrible writing like, okay, pull out a magic card and then he's out of the situation. It actually makes sense and it's very well executed. Every time he got out of a situation where you felt like, how is he going to get out of this? He does, and it feels well deserved. Anyway, on to the next crucial character, Victor. And he's probably going to be the main talk of the show, especially after the finale. So Victor is basically like a kid that Oswald brings in and cares for. He's like a father figure to this Victor character because during the Riddler's explosions, he lost his entire family. He had nowhere to go. He tried to steal Oswald's car, and then um, Oswald actually takes him in. Now, this is just an innocent boy trying to make a life for himself. That is why he tried to steal the car, but Oswald invited him into the life of crime. Later in the show, something crucial gets mentioned that the only way to get someone's loyalty is if they don't have a father figure. And this proves that theory that Victor didn't have a father figure and Oswald replaced his father figure, hence causing Vic to have this um, unbreakable loyalty towards Oswald. I mean, Victor saved him twice. Victor is the reason Oswald was able to achieve what he achieved in the finale. Anyway, you see this innocent character turning into this character that has accepted the life of crime, does commit a few murders, but you do not lose your love for this character. This character stays just as heartwarming as he was the in the first episode that you met the character. The reason I think this is a crucial character is he just proves what evil character Oswald, the Penguin, really is. Because at the end, Victor calls him family. Then you guessed it. In the finale, Oswald kills him with his bare hands, just proving that this character that you've been rooting for really is a nutjob, a menace, really is an evil person, and like his mother said, really is the devil. I also love that the antagonists in the show, they're also not good people. It's not any superheroes they're fighting against or going against. It's other uh, crime families like the Falcones and the Maronis. It's good crime families and the dynamics between them going against each other, and the Salvatores and the Falcones teaming up. Uh, they don't stay the Falcones, but I'm not going to get into that right now. And they also do a good job on making you sympathize with the antagonists of the show, especially Sophia. So what happened was Sophia was wrongfully accused, and her father accused her of being insane. Hence her getting sent to Arkham Asylum. So she was not an insane person. She was just a normal girl in a rich family, but her father wanted to keep her mouth shut because there were a few murders that happened and the evidence led to him. But what happened was that Arkham Asylum actually made this character insane. It made her go insano mode. It made her go crazy. And when you watch this show, you can actually see what happens to her, and that causes you to sympathize with the character and justify the way she behaves. The worst part is that she develops throughout the entire show just to end back up at Arkham Asylum. But everything happens with a goal. You'll have to watch how that builds up. So the Penguin basically stole Sophia's empire. And what was cool to me is that he was selling a red version of what Walter White was selling in Breaking Bad. The only difference is that they made mushrooms and then plucked it off of the mushrooms. The crime is just so well executed. The crime is Breaking Bad level executed, just minus the police officers. And then another character that I want to get into is Oswald's mother. So you would think that they really have a good relationship, and Oswald's mother was good enough to hide a lie for years. So basically, what happened was Oswald killed his brothers, and his mother knew about it, but he didn't know his mother knew. Anyway, she hated his guts. She wanted to kill him, but she didn't, and brought him up to be this mobster that he is. But in reality, she really hated him. You would think that she loves him, but yeah, that was also very well executed. This love-hate relationship, which is mostly a hate relationship from her side. Then I also want to get into the action. The action is perfectly executed for a show like this because you cannot expect a character like Oswald doing judo, like going full John Wick style and doing mass murders and um, commando and whatever. In a show like this, which is very mafia based, you'd expect guns. And trust me, there are a lot of guns. And they have their ways of building the tension up to the action. Speaking about tension, the way they build up tension in every situation is just so good. And then releasing that tension, perfectly executed. And then a last thing I want to touch, which is a major spoiler, is that throughout the entire show, Batman does not get mentioned. This is a show solely about the Penguin, the crimes that the Penguin is committing, and the war between the Falcons, the um, Penguin, and every other character. But the show only holds that trend up until the very end. Now, many people would argue that this ruined that part of the show, but in my opinion, that complements it perfectly. It was so well deserved because by this time, Oswald is the king of Gotham. The Penguin is ruling the underworld of Gotham. And that only calls for one superhero, who will save Gotham, and that is the Dark Knight himself. Anyway, the show had me sitting at the edge of my seat. Every episode was just so well executed, so well produced, and all the actors did their jobs perfectly. Their hearts, their souls, they put everything into their roles. The directors put everything into directing this. The producers put everything into this. And I feel like it was very well executed. Um, the hint to Selena Kyle was also pretty nice. So I feel like the show is an 11 out of 10 and I would 100% recommend it. I could go on for hours glazing the penguin. I really enjoyed it. The few weeks I've been watching it, it was something to look forward to every week. But yeah, that's about it. Thank you for watching.